What if ancient warnings, family tragedies, and strange coincidences weren't just legends? Across the centuries, some curses have terrified entire nations. Today we're diving into history's 7 most mysterious curses, documented, debated, and still unexplained. Just remember, some stories refuse to stay buried. In 1922, British archaeologist Howard Carter uncovered the tomb of Pharaoh Tutankhamun. Soon after, Lord Carnarvon, the expedition's financier, died unexpectedly. Over the next few years, others tied to the dig met similar fates, feeding rumors of a curse placed on anyone who disturbed the boy king's rest. Out of 58 people present at the tomb's opening, 8 died within the next 12 years, about 14%, not unusual for the era. Carter himself lived another 17 years. Still, the media frenzy was relentless. Over 1,000 newspaper articles fueled public obsession with the so-called Curse of the Pharaohs. But Egypt wasn't the only place haunted by prophecy. Legend says Native American chief Tecumseh cursed future U.S. presidents after his people were betrayed in the early 1800s. Starting with William Henry Harrison in 1840, every president elected in a year divisible by 20 died in office for over a century. Lincoln, Garfield, McKinley, Harding, Roosevelt, and Kennedy all met this fate. Statisticians estimate the odds of such a streak at less than 1 in 10 million. But in 1980, Ronald Reagan survived an assassination attempt, and the curse seemed broken. Not all cursed objects are ancient. Some sparkle dangerously. The Bamberg diamond tiara was commissioned in 1820 for a Bavarian princess. This tiara boasts 739 diamonds, but its elegance masks a dark history of heartbreak, suicide, and murder. Nearly 60% of its 15 owners faced tragedy, including Archduchess Stephanie of Belgium, whose husband mysteriously died. Compared to average European aristocratic misfortunes, the tiara's curse stands out. 9 owners met early deaths, fell into poverty, or suffered personal ruin. Today it's locked away in a private collection. Few dare wear it. Some curses hang not on heads, but on walls. In the 1980s, Britain was gripped by fear over a cheap print of a child's portrait. Dozens of homes burned to the ground. Yet, the Crying Boy painting was always left untouched. The tabloids cried curse. The public burned the art in panic. Between 1985 and 1988, over 50 such fires were reported. In 80% of cases, the print survived unscathed. Fire brigades eventually debunked the myth, blaming flame-retardant varnish. But, to this day, many refuse to hang it. Others aren't afraid of paintings, but of a tree. In the Dutch town of La Gvorcha, a solitary cedar stands over a mass plague grave from the 1700s. Locals say disturbing it brings illness or death. And the records? Over 150 strange incidents, accidents, sickness, even fatalities linked to the tree. What's eerie is the timing. 70% of these events happen during full moons. No rational explanation has emerged, and locals still avoid the cedar at night. Whether urban legend or not, its roots run deep, but some warnings are carved in stone, literally. In 1941, Soviet scientists opened the Tomb of Tamarlain, the brutal 14th century conqueror. Etched on his sarcophagus, "Whoever disturbs my tomb will unleash an invader more terrible than I." 2 days later, Hitler invaded the USSR. Historians confirm that Operation Barbarossa was planned in advance. Yet the timing, June 20th tomb, opening, June 22nd invasion, spooked even the skeptics. The tomb was quietly reburied in 1942, just before a Soviet victory at Stalingrad, from a Mongol warlord to a diamond dripping in blood. This 5,000-year-old gem has passed through dynasties in India, Persia, and the British Empire. The curse? Misfortune to any man who wears it, while women seem immune. Of its 28 known male owners, 23 died violently or lost power. Now, part of the British crown jewels, the Koh-i-Noor is only worn by queens or royal consorts. Statistical comparisons show its history deviates wildly from dynastic norms. Whether myth or math, the gem still carries an aura of dread. Some curses are passed down through empires. Others arrive quietly, hidden in ordinary objects. And sometimes, the smallest box carries the darkest secrets. The Dybbuk box, an antique wine cabinet, surfaced in the early 2000s with a dark legend. It housed a Dybbuk, a restless spirit from Jewish folklore. Its original owner claimed it brought nightmares, sickness, and misfortune. Later buyers, often resellers on eBay, described unexplained shadows, failing electronics, and emotional breakdowns. One owner, museum curator Kevin Mannis, documented years of bizarre events before finally locking it away. The story inspired the horror film, The Possession, and the box now sits sealed in a paranormal archive. But its presence still unsettles those nearby. 8 curses, centuries of fear, and maybe a few reasons to believe. Curses live in the space between coincidence and fear. Whether rooted in history or imagination, these 8 tales challenge how we see cause and effect. What's more dangerous, a curse or belief in one? If you enjoyed this dark dive into the past, like, share, and subscribe for more stories about things we fear most, or the ones we create ourselves.